Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Max and today I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can do the best that you can in your GCSE art exam. And I did mine last year and I got a 9 in art, so you can trust that I know what I'm talking about. All of the things I'm about to share with you are things that I did and I found them very useful, and I completed my final piece without too much stress, and it turned out pretty well. So I'm going to go through 3 categories of things you should keep in mind. The first being preparation, and then time saving and well-being as well. So, in terms of preparation, the first thing that I strongly recommend is listening to your teacher. If you have an idea that you are really passionate about and you show it to your teacher and they say, look, I don't think that that's gonna get you the grade that you need, and I think you should change it to be like this, then I think you should listen to them, because that's exactly what happened to me. I had an idea that I really liked, and one of my teachers said, yeah, go ahead, you should do that. And then when I started working on it, the practice final piece, my other teacher saw it and was like, no, don't do that, do this. And then I was really upset about it. I was pretty angry because I'd spent ages like sketching it out and printing it off and stuff. But I listened to them and I ended up getting a 9, which maybe I would also have got a 9 if I hadn't, but just to be safe, I would recommend you listen to your teachers, because they know what they're doing. And it is their job to help you succeed, and they want you to succeed because it looks better for them. So they're not going to try and sabotage you, and they know what they're doing, so just trust them. And then for your practice final piece, it is really important that you do one. I don't know if it's compulsory for all exam boards, but it was for mine. And if you're watching this around the time this video comes out, then you probably have either already done it, or you're working on it at the moment. And it's super duper important that you time how long it takes you to do your practice final piece, so that you have an idea of how long it will take you to do your real final piece. Also, doing a practice final piece gives you the opportunity to identify like points of weakness in your skills. Maybe say you're doing a painting of a tree and you've got a little squirrel in the tree, and you realize that you actually are crap at painting squirrels. Maybe instead you could do a bird or something. You could like try it out, because if you don't try it out and practice it, you won't know if it's terrible and that you can't do it. And your final piece exam is really not the time to be doing any kind of experimentation. This needs to be you showcasing skills that you're already confident in, that you already know you can produce to a high quality. Just identify your weaknesses and either practice them further if you really think they're necessary, or just cut them out and replace them with something else. Also, you need to make a list of all the equipment you're going to need, especially if you're doing a mixed media piece. I was doing a mixed media piece, having a variety of sizes for your brushes. If you're using pencils, maybe like a blending stick and a variety of sizes of blending stick. You need to really think about all the materials you're going to need and make a list of them, because if you get to the exam and you realize you've not got something, or you suddenly remember, oh, I need this material, you do not want to be wasting time running around your art room at school looking through the drawers trying to find it. You need to make sure you know exactly what you need and you've got it all out in front of you. When it comes to the day of your exam, the preparation that you need to do is make sure you have a printed reference image, because you are not allowed your phone in the exam, because you could get disqualified if you get your phone out. So it's really important you have a printed reference image, maybe 2 in case the first one gets destroyed by accident or something. And for the exam board I was with, at least, you are allowed to prep your canvas, so that involves doing like a base coat, or even painting the background if the background is just a plain colour. And also, to an extent, doing a sketch. It kind of is up to the discretion of your teacher whether or not you're allowed to do the sketch or not, or how much of a sketch you're allowed to do. But it's really important that you do those steps and you don't think, oh, I'll just do it in the exam, because you want to save every little inch of time that you have in case something goes wrong. Even if you feel like, oh, I can get it done easily, my final piece will only take me like 5 hours, something could go wrong and you will want that time back. And that leads quite nicely on to my next set of points, which is about saving time. So before your exam starts, I would recommend arranging your materials out in front of you in a way that you will understand, and a way that will make things easy to access. So say, for example, I was doing a mixed media piece, so I knew I was going to need my coloured pencils first, or whatever I was using first, and so I'd have them closest to me, and then my other materials, I'd have them a bit further away. Just make sure if you're using paint that your water pot that you're using to clean your brushes is away and not near your canvas, because you don't want to accidentally knock it and like get all your stuff wet. You don't want to knock it on someone else's. You just want to make sure that it's somewhere safe that isn't going to like mess you or anyone else up. making a schedule, a written out schedule, and having that near you also will be really helpful. So have like every single hour of the exam and the amount of your piece you want to have finished by that time. When you're making the schedule, it's really important to be considerate of like drying times if you're using paint. If you're not using paint, that doesn't matter so much. But say, like for me, I was using oil for part of mine, and obviously oil paint is like wet for ages, so I wanted to do that last, because otherwise, if I'm trying to use my colored pencils around it while it's wet, I'm gonna like smudge it and get mess everywhere. So if you have got a material you're using like paint that takes a little while to dry, I would recommend using that either first to let it dry over break or lunch, if it's acrylic. If it's oil, then it won't, or last, after you've used your colored pencils, if that's what you're doing, so that you don't end up smearing it everywhere and ruining your piece. And if you are using colored pencils, or graphite pencils for that matter, I would recommend sharpening all of them before you start your exam, and then sharpening them again at break and sharpening them again at lunch, because you do not want to be sat there sharpening your pencils when you're wasting precious seconds where you could be drawing. And you do need to use all of your time. If you think you've finished, you want to go back through it. Like if you've just finished your maths, for example, you're not going to just like sit there and do nothing for the rest of the time. You're going to check through the paper and you're going to look for mistakes, and then you'll be like, oh, I read that as a 5 and it was a 6, and now I've got that entire 6-mark question wrong. Good job I checked so I can fix it. You want to do the same in your art exam. You've been looking at this thing, say you're in the last hour of your exam, you've been looking at this thing for like 2 days, and you might not be able to notice straight away mistakes that you might have made because you've been looking at it for so long. So if you think you finished, you want to go back through it really carefully and look and see if you've got any mistakes. Say if you've like painted outside the lines somewhere really noticeable or something like that. But saying that, you want to be careful about what mistakes you're fixing. Say you've like only slightly painted outside the lines on one tiny bit that you can't really see, and the paint has gone over like a really complicatedly textured area right next to it. You don't want to be like going in and trying to like repaint that complicated texture over a tiny bit of paint, because that could just mess it up even more and make it look even worse if you get it wrong. So for the small mistakes that are difficult to fix, just ignore them and pretend they're not there. Big mistakes that are easy to fix, those are the things you want to target and try to change. When you're doing this, I recommend taking a step back from your canvas, because you'll like have a full view of it. You'll be looking at it from a slightly different perspective from being close up to it, and you'll probably be able to identify mistakes a little bit better. Don't do anything drastic. Say you've done like a portrait or something that has a person's face in, and you're like, actually, I don't really like their face, I'm just going to paint it white and start again, and you've got like half an hour left of your exam. That is a silly decision, don't do that. And the last section is talking about well-being, which is actually a super important thing to consider. Some people are like, huh, well-being is stupid. It's not important, I just need to work hard. And yeah, you need to work really hard, but if you're not your best, like, most rejuvenated self on the day, then you're not going to be doing your best work, are you? You need to be drinking water. Bring in a water bottle, like the biggest one you have, and you need to be drinking it. Because if you're dehydrated, you're going to get, like, a dehydration headache, and you're not going to be able to think properly. You're going to be distracted because your mouth is dry. You're going to be uncomfortable. So even if you don't drink water, bring some other drink. Bring any drink. Bring a smoothie or something. Something to keep you hydrated. And also, my class was allowed snacks, but some other people I've spoken to say that they weren't allowed snacks. If you are allowed snacks, I would recommend bringing snacks to keep you energized, like sugary snacks. Like, I had party rings and I had jelly babies, so that's what I was eating. But make sure you don't bring any kind of messy snacks. Don't bring like a really wet, juicy slice of pizza that's going to get tomato sauce everywhere and like ruin your painting with tomato sauce. And when it comes to break time, actually have a break. Don't like sit down in a classroom somewhere like being anxious about your exam. Go outside, walk around, have some fresh air, like freshen your mind a little bit, and like just distance yourself from the exam for like a couple seconds, because that's going to help you feel less kind of tired and bogged down about it. I'd also recommend keeping your space clean if you can. Don't like obsess about it during the exam. Don't be like, if you're midway through a painting session and you're like, I need to clean, don't do it then. That's not the time to do it. Once you've finished, once break time's just started, just give your space like a quick wipe over, reorganize your materials. Keeping it like tidy and preventing it from being chaotic is going to help you feel less chaotic and less stressed. So just like quickly eliminating that. You don't need to like bring a vacuum cleaner in or anything. Just like wipe over your space, organize your pencils or something, and then go outside and have some fresh air. And a really important thing to talk about is what to do if something starts going wrong. If you've like made a massive mistake and you're not sure how to fix it, or you're working on something that worked fine before but you can't seem to get it quite right this time, and you're starting to panic, just move on. Just move away from that area of your canvas or your paper or whatever and work on something else just for a bit, and then when break time comes around you can use that time to like walk around outside and think about how you could fix that mistake. There is not much time to be stopping and thinking in the exam. So you want to use your breaks wisely. Yes, do something that's going to keep you fresh and keep you relaxed, but also if something has gone wrong, that is the time you should be using to think about it and like go through your brain, think about times in class, things your teachers taught you, like different techniques you could use to fix it. And also just having a little break from it, coming back to it, something might suddenly just pop into your head that you hadn't thought of before because you were overthinking and you were panicking. And if you just calm down a little bit, the answer might just come to you. So you might think that sitting around your friends is going to be helpful for you. It's going to be comforting to have people you like around you who are going through the same thing. It's going to help you to calm down. But if you're like near your friends, if you're facing them, then you might be tempted to like wave at them or smile at them or something, and you're not allowed to communicate in the exam at all. And if like your teacher sees you, or whoever's watching you sees you, then they might be like, disqualified, and you don't really want to be disqualified after working really hard on something for like 2 years. And anyway, it might just be a distraction. You might be thinking, oh, I wonder how Christopher's getting on, and you'll like look over to him and you'll be like trying to see what he's painting and seeing if he's doing a good job. Doesn't matter what Christopher's doing, just focus on your work. If you really want to be near your friends, sit so you've got like your backs to each other, so that you can't see each other, and like you know Christopher's there, he's like right near you, but he's not going to be distracting you. And the final tip that I have for this video is to wear comfortable clothes that you don't mind getting messy. If you show up wearing your like favorite Gucci dress, then you're going to be like fussing about getting paint on it the whole time. Like you don't need to look cool, it's an art exam. You don't want to be like painting and then being like, I don't want to get paint on myself, so I'm going to do this really slowly and carefully when I could do it quickly and save time. And you want to dress for the weather. So if it's like, it's pretty sunny at the moment, so it'll probably be quite warm on the day. Wear like a t-shirt and then maybe bring a jumper or something to have just in case it gets cold. Or you want to be as comfortable as you can be so that you can do your best work. And that's all the advice that I have for you. I wish you the best of luck and I hope it goes super duper well. And I promise you that if you stick to these tips and if you consider all of these different factors, then you will do the best that you possibly can, and that you will get the grade that you deserve. You're well prepared, and you're thinking sensibly, you have nothing to worry about, and you can just go into it thinking, I'm going to do well. And I have so many different tutorials for all different mediums on this channel, so if you are looking for like a quick refresh of how to use the material that you're going to use in your exam, I've got ones on oil pastels, gouache paint, ink, other things like that. So go and check all of those out, if you think that they can help you in your exam. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!